Welcome to section 20.6 of Metabolism. In this video, we'll focus on memorizing the details of biotin, which is also known as vitamin B7. Let's get started. This scene will take place in a cardboard box with this poor man who has a bionic arm. He's a veteran and recently lost his arm at war, so it was replaced with this bionic arm. Bionic sounds kind of like biotin, so we've included the arm to help you remember that this scene is about biotin. So bionic arm for biotin. Unfortunately for the veteran guy, he's lost more than just his arm. He also lost his house. So he decided to move into this cardboard box until he can get back on his feet. Cardboard box sounds like carboxylation, so the cardboard box here is to help you remember that biotin is a cofactor for carboxylation reactions. There are 3 carboxylation reactions you need to know for step 1, so let's go through each of them now. If you look closely at the veteran's hand, you can see that he has a hook at the end of his arm, kind of like a pirate hook. The hook here should help you remember pirates, and pirate sounds like pyruvate. So putting all of this together should help you remember that biotin is a cofactor for pyruvate carboxylase. This is an enzyme that catalyzes the conversion of pyruvate to oxaloacetate. So again, pirate hook for pyruvate carboxylase. If you look at the background of this image, you can see that the veteran is next to the docks and harbor area. Seagulls notoriously hang out in these areas, so it shouldn't be surprising that there are some seagulls hanging out on top of the cardboard box. Seagull sounds like acetyl, and the fact that they're on the cardboard box should help you remember that biotin is a cofactor for acetyl-CoA carboxylase. Acetyl-CoA carboxylase is an enzyme that converts acetyl-CoA to malonyl-CoA. So seagulls on a box for acetyl-CoA carboxylase. Finally, notice that the seagulls are eating some poppy seeds on top of the box. Poppy seeds sound kind of like propionyl, so they're here to help you remember that biotin is a cofactor for propionyl-CoA carboxylase. This is a relatively low-yield enzyme to remember, but we've included it in the image for completeness sake. Propionyl-CoA carboxylase converts propionyl-CoA to methylmalonyl-CoA. So poppy seeds for propionyl-CoA carboxylase. Okay, now that we've covered the function of biotin, let's move on to discuss some of the clinical features that are seen in a biotin deficiency. This veteran guy is having a pretty rough day. Not only did he lose his arm and his house, but he's also getting barfed on by this silly seagull. As you can see from his facial expression, he doesn't seem too thrilled about this. The seagull vomiting here should help you remember that a biotin deficiency can cause enteritis. One of the symptoms of enteritis is vomiting, so in this image, the vomit represents enteritis. To make matters worse, now his bionic arm is on fire. A circuitry issue must have occurred, and now he's dealing with vomit and a bionic arm in flames. His arm on fire here represents dermatitis. Hopefully this connection is fairly intuitive. Dermatitis is inflammation of the skin, so the fact that his arm is on fire should help you remember that a biotin deficiency can cause dermatitis. We've also made the veteran guy bald to help you remember that a biotin deficiency can cause alopecia. So a bald veteran guy for alopecia. Next, notice that the seagulls have some eggs on top of the box, and one of them accidentally fell down and cracked on the ground below. The cracked egg here should help you remember that avidin in raw egg whites binds biotin and can cause a biotin deficiency. This is a relatively high yield point about biotin. For example, bodybuilders may experience symptoms of a biotin deficiency if they're consuming large quantities of raw egg whites. So again, cracked egg for avidin in egg whites binds biotin. Okay, one final point. Notice that we've added this pill container on the ground. In this story, I like to think that this veteran guy who just had his arm surgically replaced was prescribed antibiotics to prevent an infection. So the pill container represents antibiotics, which is here to help you remember that a biotin deficiency can be caused by antibiotic use. And there you have it, everything you need to memorize about biotin.